Hello everyone. Gold and silver had a good run to the delight of those of us who took advantage of summer dip in prices. But there are good news for those of you who are still on sidelines as well. There might be more opportunities to jump in on the pullbacks. I will explain my reasons below. In one of my recent videos I suggested that, unlike previous short-lived gold and silver rally, this push in precious metals might have momentum, and it seemed this prediction is playing out. Today I also wanted to touch on the price of Bitcoin. I think it is getting into a zone that might be interesting for a long-term investor. Let's talk. A disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, I just share years of my investing experience in metals, and following is just my personal opinion. Please do your own diligence before investing. Fundamentals for the rally, outlined in my last video, are basically the same as before. Latest Fed Chair Powell's speech was a confirmation of the analysis. He confirmed that aggressive rate hiking cycle is at the end, at least for the moment, and markets reacted as predicted. US dollar weakened, interest rates slid lower, and commodities are setting up for a run. As we all know, most of the commodities are denominated in US dollars, so dollar fluctuations do affect their prices. COMEX and LBMA might not represent the true supply and demand, but we have to accept the reality that those markets, with all that derivative overabundance, actually control spot prices. Every commodity should be treated differently. Most are subject to economy cycles, like booms and busts. But as we discussed, gold and silver should benefit from the current economic environment handily. Silver Institute recently reported a record 200 million ounce silver shortage for 2022, following substantial shortage in 2021. Gold had a record-breaking demand from central banks in 2022, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing down so far. Given US inflation, strong US dollar created a unique opportunity to buy bullion at a discount price. But now that dollar is coming down, gold and silver should see a healthy appreciation seen in other currencies. Sure, Fed can still play a tightening game and the dollar can go even higher, but it will only delay the inevitable. Inflation was, and still is, a real phenomenon, and precious metals should account for that, once we see a substantial pullback in US dollar. Obviously, nothing moves in straight lines up or down. Given the 30% rise in prices of silver off the lows, we can expect a temporary pullback, but the trend is still up for the moment. At times of market hysteria, gold, and especially silver, can move exponentially. But in general, we should expect a zigzag movement along the trend. I might also point out that in times of tight supply, any disruption will have an outsized effect. Remember, silver is a tiny market. If anything happens within any of supply chains, prices might skyrocket. Given the current geopolitical situation, chances of a disruption are very real. Last time we talked about supply and demand. Today, let's focus on the latest CFTC Commitment of Traders reports. This report gives us a snapshot of what big speculators are thinking about the direction of the market at the moment. Latest CFTC Commitment of Traders report shows a major bias towards a short-term downturn in the prices of silver. It does make sense, silver had a major run and needs some time to consolidate. It might create short-term buying opportunities for silver investors. That's why I said in the beginning, we might have good news for those of you who stayed on the sidelines. Long-term silver prices will be driven by a possibility of a world recession and US dollar. If dollar continues its downward trajectory, we should see appreciation in price of silver. For two reasons. Weaker dollar allows for more economic growth worldwide, and thus more industrial demand. Another reason is that silver is priced against dollar as a monetary metal. Weaker the dollar, more expensive silver, simple math. Current CFTC report for silver futures shows that silver shorts represent 68% and longs 38% of total commercial positioning. I would ignore non-reportable category, as it mostly composed of retail public that notoriously misinformed. Commercial category tells us that we might see another buying opportunity in silver in a near term, if prices pull back. Especially if we factor in big increase in number of open contracts on the short side, as opposed to a modest increase on long side. Just my opinion, not an investment advice. Same picture with gold, shorts are outnumbering longs by 2-to-1 ratio in the commercial section. But take a look at the rate of change. There was over 10,000 short contracts closed, compared to 400 long positions opened. That tells me that the negative short-term sentiment in gold might be shifting towards a more bullish outlook. We will see. For now, we might be due for a small correction. Now to the Bitcoin. I was staying away from Bitcoin during its recent rally. I never chase the move. I believe one benefits the most if positioned well in advance. That's why I was accumulating gold and silver throughout the downturn. Now that Bitcoin lost a major portion of its gains, I start to think about getting back into this investment. Currently, commitment of traders is very negative. 10-to-1 ratio of shorts to longs respectively. There is a good reason for that in my opinion. Until we have some regulations and enforcement, investing in crypto is gambling. FTX debacle is a perfect example of that. Lack of any oversight led to a situation when young kid was able to funnel exchange clients' money into crypto betting, or possibly, outright stealing it, according to the latest reports. I do not suggest buying anything just because it's cheap. The best estimate of when I would become interested comes from technical charts. Bitcoin does not have any fundamentals to consider, in my opinion, since it is a purely speculative instrument, driven by a greater fool theory. But it was trading along some established technical techniques and it is likely it will continue to do so. Based on a very basic analysis, we can expect the price will bottom someplace around 9,000 within next year, and that is where I might start building my long-term crypto position. Again, this is my opinion only. I will treat it as an asset that can turn into a complete loss, so position size will be a key. Only invest what you can afford to lose without major regret. Let me know what you think about a possibility of investing into Bitcoin. Is it a worthy risk? Or is it just a pure gamble? What price would you consider reasonable? Let me know. Please subscribe if you would like to be up to date with new content as it comes out. I post new videos on gold, silver and other related topics regularly. Thank you for watching, until next time.